Me, 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 me. Should I get down here? Okay, I think this is what I'm gonna go with because I don't really feel like you can only try to figure out something so much before you get tired of it and then just completely stop. And I'm gonna try to look at the camera too. The camera's right there, right? Okay. So I'm about to tell you a little story. So get scared. Get your scared hat on. I put a hat on because, you know, like you look kind of crappy and then you're like, oh, a hat will make me look a little less crappy. Anyway, like they can't tell. Let me get a piece of paper in case I want to draw a diagram. Actually. Okay. So here we are. I'm about to sit down, Tumblr, because I'm about to learn you a thing. Just kidding. Okay, so here we are. It's going to be Halloween soon, and I've literally been meaning to make a video like this for like over a year. So let's just get started. This video is going to be detailing or recounting, maybe not detailing because that would take too long, recounting my experiences that I've personally had with what you would call a ghost, because technically, like, there was no I didn't have some kind of mechanism that would say, oh yeah, that's a ghost. Like, for all I know, it could have been some sort of entity from a different dimension, you know. I don't know, but it would be like typical ghost experience. Anyway, so let's get the let me try to explain the backdrop of the circumstances in which these scenarios happened. So it was a dark and stormy night. Just kidding, guys. No, but okay, so I was like maybe 15 or I think I was 15, like 14 or 15. I think I was 15 though. And I was like kind of living with my friend Daphne at the time, and she was a year younger than me. And she lived with her mom, a bunch of cats, like 8 black cats, and her older sister Deja, who was 2 years older than her, and then her sister Demi was 4 years older than her, and Demi had just moved back into her mom's house from her dad's because like her mom and her were having like, she was just being really rebellious and stuff, and like so her mom kind of like made her go to her dad's, and then I don't even remember how long she was there, but anyway, so she moves back. Okay, so here we are, we're in this house with 8 black cats running around, a mom, an older sister, a middle sister, and a Daphne and a Chelsea, right? And so I was staying at Daphne's house a lot. So, whew, I'm already getting worked up. I need to take a breath. So what happened was, so the energy. Let's talk about the energy of this situation. I mean, like, Daphne's mom, okay, so she is a woman. She had a lot of she was very high energy and very like an A-type personality who was also kind of like scary, which is okay. We're not going to talk about that, but it is important, I feel, to kind of like say that, because for me, if I have to sit here and try to explain anything, I would want to say like the energy is what really I feel like made all of this happen. Okay, so it was like she had this kind of personality and relationship with her daughter, her oldest daughter, and her daughter was like kind of like, I don't want to use the word crazy because that's not a very nice word to use about somebody, but like she was a little bit like crazy, you know, like they were both like on one completely. Anyway, so then you get these two people who have this kind of complicated relationship together and in the same house, and it created this like very magnetic, like dark creepy, like weird magnetic energy. Okay? That's all I can explain it as. It's hard to explain. Okay. So then there was an instance wherein something happened to Demi where it was some kind of like no one else was there, so nobody like she was trying to tell us about it and we were like, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay. Something that I did notice that kept happening though, this is when stuff was just weird. It started to become weird. They had these like black phones. They had black phones that they would plug into the wall. Or what are those called? Like a landline phone. I don't know why I'm like over explaining stuff. So they had these landline phones that they would keep in each of their rooms because it was kind of like right before they got cell phones, you know? And these cell phones, or these phones, it didn't matter where they were putting them, they would just start to get knocked onto the floor. Like you would walk into a bedroom, because they each had one, you would walk into their bedroom, boom, the telephone is just on the floor, receiver disconnected, just, you're like, what is happening? Mostly in Demi's room, I want to say, like, that was where, like, what you would consider a poltergeistic activity started to occur, that I didn't experience any of it, except I did witness the phones that, I didn't see one fall, but I would see them laying there. Anyway, okay. So there was talk, Demi was talking, this is where it's almost like, is it a fabrication? Is it some kind of mental thing that happens when you get a bunch of girls together, or any kind of people together in a group? And, I don't really know, but all I can tell you is what happened that I saw and witnessed. So here's what I noticed started happening. There would be like a really creepy energy when you would go, sorry if my nose is kind of stuffy, but anyway, there would be like this really creepy energy when you would go to their house, and it was like scary when you would be alone, which I never experienced before there. And I remember the first time I ever sensed something, it was I was in the bathroom like taking a shower, and I swear to God, I felt like, I didn't see this, but in my mind's eye, I like because you could feel it, and then I got a mental picture. I felt like huge eyes watching me, not just like the sense of an omniscient being able to see you like in a unlocalized manner. It was almost like a very physical, like eyes looking at me, like. And what was really creepy was I got the mental image that they were like red eyes, which I guess in certain circles would be considered a sign of malevolency, but I was just like, what the fuck? Like, that's so weird. I didn't believe in ghosts or anything. Like, I didn't let my imagination run wild with it. I was just like, oh, what a weird and creepy feeling I'm having, and this mental image I'm getting, ooh, that's creepy. And if it weren't for all the other stuff that happened, I probably would have disregarded this as just like a nothing, you know? But iced coffee. I hope that my bodily habits and things I'm doing and noises I'm making aren't totally disgusting. And, it just is how it is. Okay, so to continue, I felt very creeped out by that. Didn't think too much of it, because like I said, that there had never been anything happening that okay, so when Demi was saying, like, she basically was saying, the thing that she experienced was, like, a bunch of papers flying around in her room, or not flying around, but, like, knocking over, and, like, she said that she heard, like, someone, like, breathing on the other end of the receiver, I think, is what she said. I don't really remember, because, I think I kind of disregarded it. I was like, man, like, she just smokes pot, and she probably just, like, I don't know, she's just kind of on one, like, whatever. I didn't really worry about it. And then I had that experience with the my fear in the shower. And then things kept happening, like some other kind of stuff happened that I still was like, it only until it is happening in front of your face will you really understand. You know, if you're that kind of personality who's not just like, you know, I was scared, you know, because the feeling that I was getting, not because of anything anyone said or anything that somebody, like, things that happened to them that I couldn't prove or not. I was only scared, like, because of this feeling that of scariness that was in the building. And whenever I was trying to go to sleep, I would feel like there was somebody in the room with me and staring at me, and I would have a very difficult time falling asleep when I was in that house during this time period, which still could not be attributed to any one thing. I just assumed it was my own, I kind of thought I was making it up. I was like, oh my gosh, like, because my friend Daphne and I, we used to do that for fun. Like, we would be like, oh, there's something under the bed, it's gonna jump out, ah! You know, and we would rile ourselves up like that on purpose to fool around. But this wasn't really like that, but I just kind of was like, I thought it was some sort of insomnia style problem I was having, and I just kind of chalked it up to that. Okay, so here's where it gets crazy. Just kidding, sorry. Here's where it gets crazy. So this is the first thing that happened to me where I said, holy shit, this is not funny, this is not a joke, and this is seriously happening right now. Everything that's going on, like, cannot be, ignored any longer. It needs to be seen for what it is. So what happened was, so I made a diagram. It's backwards, but you could see right here. Here is the living room of the house. Here's mom's room, and here's the living room, or the laundry room, and the door for the laundry room is, it's right here. But the door would always be open, so you could always see in there, right? Yeah, that looks weird. Okay, so this is hard for the diagram. It can only help so much because it doesn't even look accurate to the Okay, I tried to draw this picture so you can kind of understand. Here in the kitchen, there was a bar right here, an open bar, so you could see all the way into the laundry room from the kitchen. So I'm standing here in the kitchen, I'm alone, no one else is with me, and everyone's in Demi's room watching TV. And I was getting a drink or something. I was just in the kitchen, maybe getting a snack, I don't remember. And I'm alone. And I am minding my business when I see right here into the laundry room, because the door is open and it's at an angle where you can see into the laundry room. So in the laundry room, there were a bunch of hangers, right? A bunch of hangers, and they were perfectly still. There was nothing happening, nothing going on. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like somebody potted it, which you would think, is that one of the cats? Okay, so I'm pretty sure it was not a cat. There was no cat in there. But up until, you know, events happened later, even so, I thought maybe it was just one of the cats, even though there was, like, when it happened, I was, like, so positive that, like, what I had just seen was not a cat. It was just like, woo, on the hangers, okay? Like, woo, and the hangers, they're going, and I got so scared. I got scared with I almost said the Passion of the Christ. I got very frightened. I stood for, like, 10 seconds, and then I was like, every part of my body was saying, run away from here, run away from here. But the thing was, I had to run out of the kitchen and past the laundry room to get into the hallway. And that's where the scary stuff is happening. So I didn't want to go any closer to it, but I just got my courage and I ran past. Okay, so that was the first experience. I thought, this is very creepy, and I told Daphne about it, and she was just like, maybe it was one of the cats. They like to sit up there sometimes and play with the hangers, just as you described. And I was like, there wasn't a cat in there. It's hard to explain. It's like I said, it doesn't, even after it happens, you're just like, oh, maybe I'm just making it up. But then this other stuff that happened, there was no like, okay, so here's the next thing that happened. Okay, the next thing that happened was, okay, so I was with Daphne, right? We were both sitting in her bedroom. We're sitting in her bedroom. We're playing Super Mario 64 on her N64. And we're both facing the TV. We have the door closed. Outside of the hallway is her sister Deja's room. And then to the left of Daphne's room is the bathroom. So for Deja to go to the bathroom, she would have to walk past, like, basically right next to Daphne's room, like, to go across, because they were adjacent to one another. So we're sitting there, we're playing Super Mario 64, and then the handle of the doorknob the doorknob starts jiggling, like, or it's like, you know, kind of like that. Not like, it was more like jiggling. And it happened like 3 or 4 times. And each time it happened, we assumed it was Deja just pranking on us, just like doing a little, oh, I'm gonna jiggle their doorknob, give them a little bother, not even a scare, but kind of just like oh, I'm bothering your doorknob, you know. And and we didn't really care, like we were just like, oh, she's just messing around, but we were intently focused on Mario 64, so we didn't really care at all. We just think whatever, like, okay, because the reason why we thought it was her, because she would be like doing her hair or doing her makeup or something, and going back and forth to the bathroom, you know. So we thought that was what it would explain this, because it was a frequent jiggling. And so we open the door, we think, oh, you know, like, let's just open it so she stops, you know. And so I reach over, I open the door. The door's open now. Okay? Now the door is open. Do you get that? Okay, back to Mario 64 we go. Now we're playing Mario 64. Okay, and let me describe it to you like we're really there. This is where the TV was, like this right hand side. And then the door is kind of like right here, right? So I'm sitting right here, I'm playing the game. Daphne is sitting right here, she's playing the game. But both of these things that we're looking at are technically connected to the same wall, you know? So right, left. The door is not behind us, it's kind of like in the left field of our vision, but we're looking at the TV. Okay. So, oh my gosh, when people say that, so tell me why. No. So here's what happened. So we're playing the game, boom. You want to know what we see? We see like a person's, like a figure of a human being, of like I'll describe it in a second, but it goes like this. It's like do you know what I mean? It's like that. And you want to know what this being looked like? You want to know what this being looked like? Because it was messed up. Like this. Watch. I'm going to draw a picture. Literally like this. Like this, bro. So this ghost, clearly there is nothing I could call this other than it's a ghost. I saw a ghost with my own eyes from the left, like not directly, but like left hand vision, like this, like, and it had long black hair, white gown or like white frock or something, I don't know. And it just like, oh my gosh, I'm actually kind of getting scared right now because it really like, I don't like to talk about it, or I do like to tell people about it like through messages if I'm explaining to them what happened, but actually like talking it out and like describing it and saying like, yeah, I actually saw this and it was clearly not an actual human being that was in the building. And so yeah, so it passes by like, and it doesn't register for a moment. And here's the thing that always gets my goat. So it didn't register for a moment. Why? Because Deja had long black hair, right? So we're thinking, because Daphne, so long black hair. I'm not thinking about it. Then I remember that weekend, Deja had cut her hair very short and she bleached it really hard to like this coppery blonde color. Okay, so once I realized that, I stopped and I'm like, Daphne, did you see? And she was like, did you see that person? Did you see that long? It was like, and I was like, what did it look like? She was like, long black hair, white. We described the same thing. We both saw the same being. This ghost. So we saw that. And then I said the same thing. I was like, I thought it was Deja. And then she was like, I thought it was Deja too for a second. But she cut her hair. And we were just like, I don't even remember what our reaction was after that. Like, I think we stopped. I think we had to stop playing for a second. And then we kind of just were like, okay, well, like, what do you even do? Like, let's just go back to playing. I think we might have actually gotten up and asked Deja, like, yeah, well, that's what we did. So we were like, Deja, were you jiggling the doorknob? Were you messing with the doorknob? And she was like, no, why would I do that? Like, she wasn't even, the bathroom light was off. Nothing was on in there. No hair straightener was on. No blow dryer. No makeup out. Nothing in the bathroom that would indicate a human that Deja was doing anything in there. And Deja was just like sitting on her floor, like doing some crafts or something. And she was like, no, why, what happened? And we were like, so you were messing with the doorknob? Oh my gosh. Like, and then I guess we told her what happened. But so that was just that. Like, what do you even do? At that point, I think that it was very scary. You just have to keep living life as if nothing's happening because there's no kind of, it's not literally like there's a ghost flying around and you could say, hey, like, can you cut it out? Or, hey, like, maybe we should do something about this. Because Daphne's mom was very, like, anytime anyone would bring this up, which usually was Demi, because she was getting the most of it, her mom was like, shut up, like, no, it's not happening, like, not necessarily, like, we believe in God in this house, but kind of, like, that sort of vibe where it's, like, that can't occur and I won't even hear of it occurring. Just completely intolerant of the entire idea. But we swear that she herself had also been, there's no way she could have been living in the house during all this and not received some of it. I think that we might have talked about it later and she said she did, but I don't actually remember 100%. But I think that she was just like, you know, that motherly thing where you're like everyone's freaking out. I can't freak out too, or else it's gonna really fuck things up or mess things up. because I try not to cuss too much. Anyway, so that was when I was like, ghosts are real, they're very scary, I don't want them to mess with me. But my mom always told me, which whenever she used to say this, I would be like, Mom, like, what are you talking about? Like, the ghosts aren't real. She used to always say, if there's a ghost and it's trying to scare you, don't let it know you're scared. Don't show any reaction. Why? Because they feed off your response. They feed off of your reaction. So don't give them a reaction. That's actually how you gotta handle the haters too. Ooh, just kidding. No, but for real. So at that point I was like, you know what? Like, it's scary and I'm afraid and I'm very fearful, but what can you do? I'm not gonna show any reaction and I'm just gonna keep living my life. And because that's all you can do. So then I don't remember exactly what happened. Like, I feel like Demi left or something, or like, I don't really remember what happened. This all occurred over the course of I want to say like a few months. So gradually, I think it was like things kind of went back to normal. I don't really even remember. I don't remember what happened, but there was a point full on where Daphne and I were doing the dishes, right? This is where my last ghost encounter occurred. So, oh my gosh, with all these noises I'm making with my face, I'm gonna have to edit this. There's no way I can leave all these gross little, like, grunts and, oinks and sniffles in. Okay, so here's what my last situation where I encountered ghost activity was. Here's what happened. Actually, let me take a drink first. Having a little like jug or whatever of iced coffee in your refrigerator is so nice but so dangerous, because I had 3 of these now. I want another one right now, and I really feel like I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try not to. Anyway, okay, so here's the last thing that happened. So it had already been a while, no ghost activity for me after that big scare, where I honestly think, like, that was, like, scary, right? But it was more just, like, the ghost was like, look at me! Like, here I am! You know? Which, I mean, if I became a ghost, I might be the same way. I might be like, you know, I want to play Mario 64 too. Y'all are having fun. I want to have fun too. And then maybe you just look scary and it's not your fault, you know? Can't we all kind of relate to that? But so here's what happened. Like, no ghost activity, no, like, a gradually declining frequency of scary activity. And so Daphne and I were washing the dishes together, which I just think is so cute, that we were standing at the sink together, both of our hands in the sink, washing the dishes together, which is just very cute to recount. And because we used to, like, sleep in the same bed too, is the thing. Like, we were just always together and stuff. Anyway, so I was looking at a cloud. There's, like, a nice cloud right here. Okay, wait, no, I want to talk about clouds some more. I like when a cloud is just, like, really high above you, like, right above you. I like when they're in the distance, but I think my favorite cloud is when it's just, like, very, like, right there, right on top of you, like, hey, you're right there. That's what I like, personally. Okay, so really to finish, because I've been talking a lot and I didn't say anything, we're washing the dishes, and I don't remember if it was me or Daphne, but one of us goes, I feel like it was me, one of us goes, hey, you know what's funny? There hasn't been a lot of ghost stuff happening around here for a while now, because it had been happening a lot, frequently, a lot of stuff happening. And then the other goes like, oh wow, that's so true, like, there hasn't really been any ghost stuff happening. Huh. It's kind of cool. And at that very moment, you know what happens? Okay, so in front of us was window blinds. They're open. The thing is closed, so there's blinds all in front, but they're open, right? And it's those little metallic ones too. So then one of those blinds literally just goes like this right in front of our face. I'm gonna grab the the pen to show you. It just goes like this. So it's still, and then it just goes. A ghost, it has a sense of humor because, you know, we're sitting there talking about, hey, there's not been any ghost activity. Peaceful times around here, huh? Oh, yeah. That's so true. I haven't thought about that. How wonderful. All of a sudden, right in front of us, merely a few feet from our faces, alliteration, we see this blind going up and down. And not just on the whole blind, it was like one side of it, like somebody was pinching it on one side and making it go up and down. Which is, I just like to be specific and just say exactly what I saw. So here's the really funny thing. We were so done with it at that point, and we were so over it that we literally just we said, oh, haha, ghost, very funny. Because what can you do but have a sense of humor when a ghost itself is being a little joker, you know? What can you do? You just gotta laugh. And you gotta say, we're not afraid of you. We don't care. And you're funny. And that was the last time I ever saw in my life, ever saw or heard any kind of ghost thing. So those are my ghost experiences. I hope that I was able to. Oh no, I wanted to close off by saying, what does it mean? You know, because when some people, they hear or they have this evidence, which I say evidence because it's only anecdotal experiences that I've had. I can't say I have evidence of ghosts being a thing. You know, when you're faced with the implication, whether or not you've experienced it yourself or you're listening to somebody else's experiences, the implication that there are forms of energy that are intelligent and have a will of their own and a prerogative of their own, which in our case was to it was trying to frighten us in certain situations and make itself known. What do you do with that information? Well, I was thinking about it yesterday. I think that I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating because the implication that life is more like just this world we live in, it is more mysterious than we could ever even explain. And it makes me wonder. I just had to delete stuff from my phone to make room for my ramblings. So I'm gonna wrap it up really quick because I already took too much of your precious time already. Anyway, so the implication of just it's the fact of the thing that I find fun and fascinating about it, even though I don't really care. I don't really care to see any more ghosts or have any more scary experiences like that in my future. I would be open to seeing maybe like a UFO or like some kind of cryptid or something, just to know, like, I want to see Bigfoot, you know. I would literally pee my pants if I saw Bigfoot. He's scary, you know. It's already scary enough. Like if I saw a bear in real life and I was just out and about in like a forest or something, I would worry about dying, you know. And if I saw Bigfoot, even though he's a man and they say he's so friendly, it wouldn't be much better because really what you're being faced with is this huge gargantuan beast, and you don't really know what he wants or what, if he wants to grind your bones to ash or like make stew out of your bones. Anyway. Oh, I'm like, I find a value in the fact that it's, like I said, it's only until you have your own experiences with this kind of stuff that you can say, like, I believe it, you know? If I never had these experiences, I would still be wondering. And I like mystery, I like unexplained things, I like energy, and like, I like things that science can't really fully understand or explain yet. And so yeah, that's basically it. I hope that I explained thoroughly enough. Oh, and I'd like to give a shout out to all my to some of the people I remember from Twitter off the top of my head. So, Lily Petting Softly is one of the top stars on top of the Christmas tree. That's not their. Why do I always mix it up with someone else? Hold on. Okay, Solar Divulger. That's a real G right there. G standing for genius. Or a gangster. You could be both. The other person who gave me some rooting for in the comment there when I said I was gonna make this video, who their name is Sphere and their icon is a picture of a chrome sphere. They are a genius. And my friend Joe, the Joey Davis on Twitter, my bestie Joe, I'm gonna throw yours in there too, give you a little shout out. And who else? I've got a lot of buddies on Twitter. Anyway, let me know if you'd like to hear more ramblings. Maybe I don't really have too many stories, honestly, which kind of sucks. Like, you know, and have you ever experienced that where you grow up and you're thinking like, oh my gosh, like, oh, my crazy life, me and my friends, we just have the craziest times. And then you kind of get a little older and you're like, dude, we were literally just smoking weed and like walking up the street, eating nachos under a tree, and then walking home. Like, these aren't really like stories you could tell at a party and have people go like, dang, you know, it's just kind of a bunch of crap. Or like, good times for you, maybe not good things to make a story about. Anyway, but I hope everyone has a lovely Halloween. I hope everybody I wish I had like a good sign off, like, you know, that meme analysis guy who'll be like, memes matter. I keep saying that to myself like randomly. I'll just be like, memes matter. I don't have any kind of cool sign off like that though. I hope everyone has a good week and a wonderful Halloween, and may the ghosts not get you. Okay, now for real, bye. I don't like when people laugh when they're signing on. They're like, and then they end it. I'm just gonna be like really straight faced and end it like.